to another episode of D54. I'm Amit, joined by Academy Award-winning Sunny.
Thanks, man. Best supporting actor. I'll take it.
Oh man, best character actor, because you can be character sometimes. We're pretty excited, guys. This is going to be a different episode. No formal review this week, but the Kerala State Awards came out, and as you know, we are new to the Malayalam film industry, so what better time for us to talk about 2022, and what a year it was, man. So many movies we discussed. So we're going to talk about some of the movies of 2022, obviously discuss the awards, but at the end, stick around to the end, because we're going to basically talk about our first year of basically watching Malayalam movies and what we've sort of seen from this industry and what we sort of like from this industry, and how much it's meant to us. But Sunny, man, let me get started. The movie we watched in 2022, man, we watched quite a few of them.
Yeah.
To start with, one that's very close to our heart, Jana Gana Mana, the first Malayalam movie we watched. Prithviraj, Suraj just blew our mind in that movie.
What an amazing film that was, man.
Yeah, man, that was a really good movie. What a good start that was. Talumala, amazing. I don't know. Let's just read them all, then we'll sort of go through them a little bit.
Yeah.
Bhishma Parvam, Roshak, Nathan Kes Kodu, Unimukundan Associates, and Nanpakal Nerathu Mayakkam. Pretty good list, man. I think we gave, as I said, everything like very, very high ratings.
Watch the cream of the crop there, I reckon.
Pretty much, man. Which ones stick out to you the most?
Oh, man, so many great movies on that list. I could say each one of them for very different reasons, but Nanpakal for me was probably my favorite. Mugundan and the Associates, unexpected, hilarious, completely subversive, did not know where that was going until the very end, blew my mind. And then you look at even Thalumala, like completely different to anything I've ever seen before, like completely unique in everything it does, from the chronology to just the whole film based on just fight scenes. Oh man, there are so many scenes in that movie that still stick out in my mind. So that has to be on there for one of the most memorable.
Yeah. Nah, man, you're right. You could just make a case for each and every single one of these because they were pretty amazing, man. Rorschach seeing, I think that was our introduction to mammootty.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time we had seen mammootty, and our reaction to seeing someone, a 71-year-old playing a psycho who's trying to destroy this, this family essentially, and the things he's doing.
Obviously, lit a fire in us. Concerningly.
Concerningly. But it's just been non-stop since then. But yeah, man, the ones for me that stick out are probably, like Tolumala, I think is pretty special. I think it's just because I think it was just, I mean, that's a movie that I wish I had seen in cinema, because it's the kind of movie that, my God, so much fun and
jumps off the screen at you, man. Remains in my mind because it was completely unexpected. Just the decision to make a movie that is based entirely on the history of fights of a couple of characters is just remarkable. And what really sticks out in my mind is that last 20 minutes of that film where the Shine Tom Charco's character is going to the wedding and is taking over this wedding, and you know that there's going to be a fight, and there's just tension building for about 20 minutes before it explodes, of all places, in a car. And then they have to step out and pretend like everything's fine at the wedding before it goes completely haywire again. One of the most tense scenes that I've ever been a part of. And it was amazing, man. Beautifully shot.
Yeah, man. Tom Chaco also became one of our favorites, man. I think my most memorable moment, one of my favorite moments of him, as much as I loved him in Talumala, I will never forget him in Bhishma Parvam.
Oh, man.
For one reason only. That dance.
The dance, so memorable.
The dance.
Did he get an award for the dance? I feel like there should be an award for the dance.
There should be an award for that. He should have won.
Well, there'll be strong competition with Kunchako Bourbon. That is.
Oh my God!
Big year for
that's a dance off.
All good dances.
Yeah.
Brilliant dances.
That is a dance off that I would love to see, man. Nah, man, it was really, really good year. Like Bhishma Parvam itself, man. Seeing mammootty just sort of switch from being a psychopath to then seeing him in sort of that role, the gangster boss, that brought back like a different, I don't know, we started to get a different appreciation for sort of the cinema and how much variety they have, because to see like a gangster flick that we had sort of, basically growing up. Basically, you know, in the like early 90s and 2000s, gangsters flicks was like a genre, and it was basically just, you know, so many great movies sort of come out during that time. So to see Bhishma Parvam now, also, you know, it's really good. It's pretty impressive.
Amazing
yeah,
film,
man.
and I think that just elevated mammootty in my eyes and to a whole different level, because it was so different to how we had seen him before in Rorschach, because here he was saying far less, but still so impactful, just memorable.
Definitely. No, and guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be doing a reaction video to basically the best of mammootty in 2022. So we're going to look at Nanpakal, we're going to look at Bhishma Parvam, and look at Rorschach. Basically, do some scenes reactions, our favorite scenes from those three. But yeah, man, about these awards, man, I want to read out some of the awards so sort of get your reaction on these, man. So, best picture, best movie goes to, unsurprisingly, Nanpakal, Nerathu, Mayakkam. And also best actor is mammootty in Nanpakal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to bring up something, man. Before you sort of go into that. So if you look at the title of our review for Nanpakal, the title, the little subtitle I put in that was "This will be the movie of the year."
Prophetic.
And it is a movie of the year. Yep.
Called
there
it.
we go.
Called it.
1 out of 1.
Love a good one take.
Definitely, man. So that's incredible and well deserved. And I think that is definitely, like, in terms of Oscar winning, like, that is most like the Oscar like movie, I think. And it was just something else.
I think it speaks volumes that is the movie that was deemed the best movie of the year, because I wonder if that was the one that grossed the most. I can't imagine that it grossed more than some of the big films that, you know, like Talumala and the like.
Yeah.
And the fact that is the film that the Malayalam film industry chose to win just speaks volumes about how much appreciation they have for quality cinema. Because people could walk away from watching Nanpakal and say they were bored, or that nothing really happened, and that there wasn't a resolution. So what an annoying film. And yet that's the film that this industry chose to celebrate and give its award to. And I just think that is like such a celebration of a terrific movie. And there are great movies happening in, you know, Western cinema as well, but they don't get that same level of appreciation. And so there's no impetus to keep creating movies like this. Here is a director at the peak of his craft making a film that, you know, people might find boring, other people might find so intellectually stimulating, and yet this is what they choose to say is the best film of the year. It gives props to the people involved in this and say, hey, we support you guys making these kind of smaller budget, impactful films that are kind of a little bit art house, and we'll reward you for it, and we will amplify your audience through giving this award. And I think that is just the ultimate, like, it's amazing that the Malayalam film industry chose that film of all films, I think.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's like almost like the best of both worlds. Because when we see this stuff in Hollywood, it would never feature anyone of like mammootty's kind of stature.
No, also true,
right?
Yeah.
Like it would just be some, you know, a really small art house indie film with maybe an up and coming actor.
Yes.
Which might go under the radar, like sort of like how in the Oscars Everything Everywhere All at Once sort of won something a little bit like that. Like that's obviously that's much more flash and much more you know, there's a lot more to it than it's not a humanist movie, but there's sort of humanist elements to that movie. But again, you know, as we saw, there was no superstar in that movie. Like it was just, you know, a bunch of unknowns. So I mean, not unknown, sorry. Like they all had some name, but nothing like a, you know, like Mammootty's
status of mammootty. Yes.
Yeah. He's like, you know, the biggest star in the industry. So yeah, it's really a credit to them for giving the award for that. But yeah, another one of our favorites, man, won a lot of awards. Nathan Kodu. I'll just read these out, man. I'll read these out.
Yeah.
Best character actor, PP Kunikrishan. That's the judge.
Yeah.
Yep. The magistrate.
Yes.
So pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
This movie won best film with popular appeal and aesthetic value. So I guess that's like a People's Choice kind of award.
Cool.
I'm guessing it's like the most popular kind of movie. That actually makes a lot of sense to award both. Hollywood should really adapt that kind of thing, to be honest, because Hollywood goes on the other end where they don't even award movies that are, you know, really commercially successful or really for the people.
100%.
Like, you know,
yes.
There was a huge argument when Spider-Man Far From Home came out, right? Like people were like, why didn't that win? Or Top Gun Maverick, which brought people back to the cinema. So they should have an award, something like this.
You
That'd
should
be
totally
awesome if they
give
had something
props
like that.
to the ones that
Yeah.
people want to go and watch and that revive the
Yeah.
industry and inject it with new life. Totally.
Definitely. Then special jury award acting, Kunchako Bourbon. I'm guessing that's like a second place award for like the I guess Mammootty won, but maybe
Yeah.
Kunchako Bourbon was in the running for it. And yeah, I'm more happy with that. He was amazing.
He was terrific.
In that movie. Yeah. Best music director for the score, Dawn Winston. I mean, when I think of this movie, I just think of that one song that when he's dancing.
Yeah.
So he
Not
definitely
surprising.
deserves it. Yeah, he definitely deserves some award for that. Best screenplay, Ratesh Balakrishnan Poduval. I mean, I'm surprised the best screenplay didn't go to Nanpakal because that won the best movie because of its writing. So that's a bit surprising. I mean, I'm not going to argue with it because it was well written movie as well. But yeah, interesting, right? Then best art director, Jaya Otish Sankar, and best sound mixing, Vipin Nair. So I'm not actually sure what the differences are in between some of these, like best musical director score and best sounding mixing. Sound a little bit similar. Sound like there's a bit of overlap at least. But yeah, Nanpakal, I guess, basically. Sorry, not Nanpakal. Nathan Keskoru got the other
cleaned
awards,
up,
I
yes.
guess.
Yeah.
So
fair enough, man. That was such an enjoyable film, and I can see that being an audience favorite. Completely understandable.
Yeah.
Hilarious, impactful, great scenes in that, memorable scenes.
Memorable scenes, yeah. Yeah, it definitely had a great feel to it, right? From the music to the set design to the look and feel of that movie to Kunchako Bourbon's jaw being a bit out and speaking an accent. The costume design, the array of characters they had coming in and out.
That's right. And the interesting themes as well, right? Whether it's corruption, the judicial system, like the role of politicians and their involvement in judicial systems. It touched on so many issues, I think, that would be of interest to audiences. And then you top that all off with just terrific characters. Yeah, that revolving door of witnesses appearing before the court. Like, it had it all.
Definitely, man. The other one that won some awards, because that basically capped off all the ones that we knew. Like, I'm not going to read out who won. Best actress, Vinci. We saw her in Jana Gana Mana, but we didn't really see that movie, so I don't really know what to really say about that movie. Like, So yeah, but yeah, a lot of other awards that we're not going to read because we don't know. Like, we didn't watch them. But if you guys do want us to review any other movies from 2022, including the Mammootty movie we didn't watch, drop it in the comments because we'd be more than happy to. 22 was a very important year for us, so we'd love to sort of get involved with that. Yeah. The other one, I think the other movie that won awards from our category was Talumala won a few, so it won best editor and best choreography.
Totally get that.
Which I think editing and choreography for that, definitely, man. If there was like an award for like animations, like on screen, because that movie did the best job of that with the phone chats and the costume design changes and the anime effects coming out the arms.
Oh my god, man! Relentlessly creative, that film.
Yeah,
it makes me want to go back and watch it again, just because it was such pure joy and just adrenaline pumping, action, music. Terrific performances. Love it.
Definitely, man. No, so some good performances now. Getting to the bit of controversy, man. Nothing for Janagana Mana, Rorschach, Unimukundu and Associates from our list.
Yeah, okay. That is surprising. That's really surprising.
Yeah. Bishma Parvam as well. Yeah.
Those are all terrific films. And I think films that kind of transcend the year, like Mukundan and the Associates. That was unlike anything we've seen as well, right? Like, what a year it was, 2022. But
I know.
Mukundan and the Associates, like the very epitome of black comedy in a way. A performance that was just unbelievable and uncompromising in its vision of the cynicism and the vision of the legal profession at its worst. It was close to flawless, that film, man.
It was really good. And the voiceover on top, there's just stuff we have not seen in that kind of, not just, I'm not going to say Malayalam industry. I'm going to say like any Indian industry. I don't think has done anything that they've done. It's so out of the field. And for us to sort of watch that, coming from a obviously Hollywood sort of background, to have that sort of familiarity, but seeing it in a different flavor, it's just like, we were amazed by it. I think there's some arguments. I think the Unimukundu Associates, there is a award for something like best debut director.
Right.
So it didn't go to it didn't go to what you call it? It didn't go
Right.
to
Right.
Mukunda and Associates, which is a bit surprising. There was another movie which I personally watched, which won some,
Yeah.
called Ella Visa Punchira, which I might get you to watch it sometime because that movie was freaking awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
But it won like best sound design and best cinematography. But I think it might have also won best um, debut director for that. But yeah, I do feel that. Feel a bit bad for the mostly I feel a bit bad for probably Undi Mukunda's Associates because I think that's the movie that
Deserved to
should
be
have won
celebrated a
something.
little bit, right? Yeah.
Also, Rorschach like that.
Did
I don't know, man.
terrific.
Like it's a pretty great film. And I do remember, man. There's a few things I remember. Obviously, Mammootty going absolutely crazy.
Yes.
And also the other side character, the brother-in-law or the some in-law and his facial expressions.
Yes. Yes.
I will never forget that. And the third thing I won't forget is the mother in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember her, like
Yes. Yes.
she was just transformational. So I don't
Amazing.
know, maybe she could have won Best Actress potentially.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, I've been seeing
She
that
was
going around.
pivotal.
People are a bit upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her
Okay.
performance was just like out of this world. So that would have given at least Rorschach some sort of
Some.
award.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, it's really tough to sort of
Just
like we
shows you
haven't
the
mentioned it, like Jana Gana Mana or Bhishma Pararam.
exactly.
They're probably a bit below those based on all that.
And it might be that in any other year they might have gotten some awards. You just
Correct.
had like an amazing year of great movies, and
Yeah,
so there's only so many awards going around.
correct. Yeah, man, it's a fantastic year. And a good time to sort of for us to reflect, man. Before we sort of wrap this one up, man. Our first year of basically watching Malayalam films, and we've done a lot of movies. This is just from the 2022 collection, but we've obviously done a lot more from 2023. We had a little Georgie George in our life as well, and we had
Yes.
Mohan Lal come in recently.
Yes.
So we've had a few other sort of players at hand as well who are not mentioned here. But yeah, man, just what are your first impressions, I guess, after a year of watching Malayalam cinema? Like, what do you think about this industry, man?
I think first and foremost, it's just revitalized my love of cinema so much, man. Like it has just
Yeah.
opened up this whole new world of films and actors that I never would have thought I'd be watching. But the quality of cinema we're getting from the Malayalam industry and the quality of the actors, it just never ceases to surprise me. Every movie we watch is different, unique, and impactful in its own way. And I think all of it just shows a couple of key features about what makes great movies. Firstly, tell great stories, because all of these have had great stories that just draw you in. It's not about special effects. Yes, they have some superstar actors, but they're actors who are playing characters we can all relate to, and
Yeah.
being part of an interesting story. And I think that has just drawn me in movie after movie. And the kind of creativity of this cinema continues to blow me away as well. So I've just been so amazed by this year of cinema, man. And I can't wait to keep watching
Yeah.
and learning more because I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
Oh yeah, no, we definitely have, man. Yeah, it's been a pretty important year, man. But I think we started off with we started in just the perfect way to sort of get those, commercial hits sort of coming in first and,
Yes,
learning more slowly and slowly about how much this industry has to offer. That's what I'm really like. It's strange how we can go through all of these movies. And I'm sure if we go back and listen to them, we would have learned something different and been amazed by something different about each and every single one. You know,
absolutely.
like we saw the twist in Janaganamana and we're like, I
Yeah.
never had seen that coming with a superstar like Prithvi Raj to come in halfway
Yes.
crazy. And obviously, we're to Talamala and we're blown away by how technically good this industry is. Like, they got the foundations down
100%.
perfect. Like,
Yes.
everything looks so good. Everything looks so crisp. They're basically on par or beyond, Hollywood at this point. Like, we've seen that in time and time out, time again, right? We've seen that in recent
100%.
movies we've done. We recently saw Kurup, we saw Nerathu. We've seen these movies are just amazing, like, visually. And it's
Yes.
stunning that, this is a side of basic Indian cinema I never would have seen, which kind of blows my mind.
Yes.
And of course, you go down to the writing, the core foundation of what they do. And we're seeing that so much now that in the older movies we're reviewing, that they still stand the
Yes.
test of time because
Yes.
their writing is so flawless and the foundation is so good. Flawless writing with powerhouse performances. That's the foundation that all these movies even now have. Even though Unni Mukund and Associates, it has all that plus more to the modern audience as well. So,
Yes.
you know, it's an incredible industry. It's just been such a Yeah, it has definitely the same with you, man. I echo your thoughts. It's revitalized my love for basically cinema and love for storytelling because of just, and it's just like an exploration. I feel like we're just like on the
Yes.
journey now to keep opening new, chests of treasure and being like, oh, look what's under here. We're seeing a whole new thing with Mohanlal and Baby Mermaids.
Yes.
We're seeing, this whole new side of the industry with like Mukunda and Associates and being like, whoa, they can do this as well.
Yes.
So there's just so much to like.
It really is. And I think, as I was kind of saying earlier with the movies that that were awarded throughout this process, the Kerala State Awards, the audiences are there to watch these movies, like in the
Yeah.
same way that they're just not in Western cinema. I'm sure there are great movies in Western cinema. People just aren't going out there and watching them in the same way that
No.
maybe Malayalam people really kind of appreciate cinema to a different level, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a huge kind of exaggeration or hyperbole. I'm not sure, but like the fact that these films we've watched, not some of them are just pure art house films, and they're
Definitely.
not kind of big blockbusters, and yet it seems to get audiences to the cinema nonetheless, and they celebrate it and they go out and watch it, which is great for the industry because it means we get more of it.
No, and we could not have learnt this without the support of you guys. So
100%.
that's sort of what I want to end this on. Like this journey for us coming in as people that didn't know too much about sort of Malayalam cinema or Indian cinema, we would not have been here if it wasn't for you guys that are supporting us. We've had a lot of people that sort of tune in to our videos and keep giving us such great encouragement and feedback and giving us obviously suggestions as to what we should watch next and why we should watch them. That's the thing that I am seeing from this industry. That people are so passionate about this industry and they know so much. Um, the insights we get, like when you mentioned, I don't know if you see this from Hollywood, I don't hear people talking about those art house movies unless you have like a Roger Ebert or something like that, or like
Yes.
some big critic talking about it.
Yes.
But the general, people like you and I rarely hear that. But I see that every day when we review these
Yes.
movies.
Yes.
It's ridiculous how passionate people are about it. So thank you guys.
Great
We
point.
really appreciate all your support with this. And it's just upwards and onwards from here, guys. So looking forward to, engaging with you guys some more.
Love it. Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right. Well, that'll do it for this short episode. But hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Catch you in the next one,
So,
guys.